Welcome, super smarties. Let the learning begin. As you can see, I changed up the board a little bit. That's kind of what teachers do. We make things a little bit different so that you stay interested, so that we stay interested, and so that you keep building the schema. Because if we always do it the same way, you might go offline with your attention and not fully encode everything that we're trying to help you remember. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the yesterday, today, and tomorrow, but I'm going to do it on a small whiteboard. I want you to make sure that you're using a composition book or a notebook. Notebook might be easier because if you're little, you probably write with really large letters, and it will be hard to keep the same sentence the way that I'm doing it across the full whiteboard for you to do it across the small page of the composition book. But it's also a good way for you to just practice learning and to understand that the sweet back comes when you run out of space, not when you run out of words. So it's also a chance for you to see how you transfer information from one source to another. And then reference back, because my goal is that you read. So write and then read. And if you can't make the letters by yourself, have someone bigger use a highlighter and you can trace over them. And then go back and read them. Remember, tuck and point, touch and tell. All right, so we're going to mix it up again. So yesterday, yes, capital Y-E-S, ter, T-E-R, day, D-A-Y. And I need a face space. Doesn't matter that I'm not doing it on this large space, now I'm doing it in a smaller space. I still need a face space. So this will be ace, the face space. Was, W-A-S. What's nice about this board also is that it shows you the track, the road, so you kind of can see. It might be difficult to see it if you're not really close to it, but there's a solid, a dotted, and a solid line. And that's the writing track, or the space we're going to be writing in. So this is the first floor, this is the second floor, or the attic, and then down here is the basement. So it gives a good visual reference for where the words are, the letters are placed in each of the words. So we're going to do another face space, and yesterday was the day of Thursday. So I'm going to reference my smart cards and my smart chart and think in my smart brain. Capital T-H, like thumb, U-R, like turkey, Thurs, it's an S, and day. And I'm just going to put a period there. Now, what I know about this day is now, yesterday, anything that was yesterday is in the past. In the past. It's behind us, already happened. It will happen again, but not until next week. So if yesterday was Thursday, then today is one day more than Thursday. Let's see. Friday. It's the last day of the school week. If we had been still in our regular school, we would be on spring break. So today is Friday. Only 3 words. Today, capital T-O-D-A-Y. Face space is face space, capital F-R-I-D-A-Y. I'm going to put a period, it's just a telling sentence. The capital T and the capital F go up into the attic. Capital words, capital letters in words always go up into the attic. But D, see here and here and here, and T, those are also attic reaching letters. They're tall letters. And if you look at Y, the Y is a fall letter. It goes down into the basement. Kind of scary down there. And I was looking for blue, and I don't see blue, so I'm going to use purple for the present. Maybe it's green. Present. Oh, not that green. Present. P-R-E-S-E-N-T. Present is, one of the meanings of present is gift. It's the present. It's like a gift. So if yesterday was Thursday and today is Friday, then tomorrow will be Saturday. I don't want to use purple. Have it in my hand. Tomorrow. Capital T-O-M-O-R-R-O, face space, will, face space, be Saturday, capital S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y. And Saturday is in the future. Now I'll use my purple. Past, present, and future. So now I want to construct a sentence having directly to do with today. So you can put this into your composition book if you want, or you can just write about this particular day. Today is Friday, April, and it's now the double-digit days. So it's not 9 anymore, it is now 10. And I'm going to move that up here. Today, face space is, right, I see it right down here, Friday, comma, April, capital A-P-R-I-L, 10. I put a 1 in the tens place. I put a 0 in the ones place, 10, comma, 2020. I put a 2 in the thousands place. I put a 0 in the hundreds place. I put a 2 in the tens place. I put a 0 in the ones place, 2020. And then I'm going to put down here, I think I'm going to put the date numerically down here, because that's how I would write the date on my paper, and there's a line here. So I'm going to say, or I can do it with just numbers, and I'm not going to put in parentheses today, I'm going to just put it here referencing this. 4-10-20. Now in this space, I think I'm going to write another sentence. I think I'm going to write about the weather. Where I live today, it's been raining again. Usually it's sunny because I live in California, Southern California. Hasn't been sunny this week. We've had rainy, rainy, rainy days. Today, I don't want to erase today because I've already used it twice. Let's see. The weather is rainy. I like that. And that is a high frequency word. T-H-E, face space, weather, W-E, and then there's an A, T-H-E-R, face space, is rainy. A, there's an I next to the A, N-E. It's not an E, it's actually a Y. Y is acting like a vowel. Now, in my class, one of the things that we like to do is we like to talk about the zone that we're in. And so I brought my zone signal, and there are 4 zones. The first zone is the zone we most want to be in. It's the regulated and ready to learn zone, and that's the green zone. The yellow zone, it can have other emotions in these, but these are the 4 that we most have to think about when we're in transitional kindergarten. So like overwhelmed, confused, frustrated, grouchy, or crabby. And that's moving a little bit away from the green. And this is a check-in point where I as a teacher and you as a learner would have to say, ooh, pause. Let's see about some mindful breathing, maybe talk about our feelings, bring a little friend, have a little chance to try and get back down to the green. The next one is the red zone. This is angry, mean, mad, terrified, aggressive. This one, we have to go away from our friends and have a little bit of thinking time and go to a safe space where we can find our safe place inside of us again and regulate and join the group. And then this here is the blue zone. You're tired, you don't feel very well, maybe you're a little bit sad, hurt. And so I want my students every day to think about their zone, and I want them to record it. And in our class, in our composition books, we would be recording our zone every single day. And your zone's going to shift. But if you come in and you're having a little bit of a hard time, it's really important that we do a check-in, and I help you, or your mom or dad help you before you come to school, or you learn how to help yourself. get yourself regulated and ready to learn. But today, my zone, I think that I am in the blue zone today. I don't feel very well, and I'm kind of sad. It was supposed to be spring break, and we were supposed to go back in a week. It was supposed to be a fun week with my family, and we were going to do all this neat stuff, and I'm disappointed that's not going to happen. And then I don't get to see my kids, my students, when the week is over, and we were going to get ready for all these great things, and open house, and the end of the year is so much fun as a teacher because my students are so ready to learn, and they demonstrate all these things that we've worked so hard on all year, and that's just gone. So we get to be together here, but it doesn't feel the same. So today was kind of a blue day. So I, personal pronoun, am in the blue zone. I have to do some mindful breathing. So this is how we're going to do the calendar, so that I can also use the whiteboard behind it for some other things that I want to do. And I decided that today, one of the things I wanted to think about was math. So, for our learning field trips, honk honk, beep beep. Get on the bus, everybody. It's a rainy day, so bring your galoshes or your rain boots, your jacket and your umbrella. We're going to be inside, but getting off the bus, you might get wet. All right, it's time for a learning field trip. So climb on the bus. We're going to build up our schema. And with math, it's really important that we develop some very clear schematics for us to connect with number. So in my classroom, the one with the 4 walls, one of the things I like to do is build a ways to chart for understanding numbers. So first we talk about number, where we find them, how we use them, what do we do with them. And we make what's called a thinking map. We put that information there so we understand that math is the universal language. It's spoken everywhere. And we want to be able to see that math is in all the spaces and places of our lives, our real lives. We use it when we're driving, for how fast we can go or how slow we're supposed to go, and how much gas we need or how much gas we have left. We use it when we compete in a sport, how fast we run or how many points we've earned or how many more we need. We use it when we go to the store, the money that we're going to spend, the cost of the things that we're going to buy, the amount of them that we're going to need. We use it in our house when we cook, when we measure how much or how little of an ingredient do we need, how long will it need to cook, how long can it stay in the refrigerator or have to stay out of the refrigerator, how much time will we need to let it defrost before we cook it. This is where we find math. Everywhere. It's everywhere. So it's really important that we understand how to speak that universal language. So by understanding math structures and their functions, we can get much more flexible with how we think as mathematicians. And really, we become mathematicians. So we want to math it up because it's so, so, so important. So what I wanted to look at is number. Flexibly thinking about number and some of the ways that we can do it. So I just picked some number cards, and we're going to do ways to numbers. So the first card I have is 5. Now this is how it's written numerically. Cross left down, loop right around. But another way that we could record that 5 is by using dot math. Now here's the magic of dot math. See the structure of the 5? Look here. When you make the 5 numerically, you can put a little dot in each of the points or the corners and then put one in like the fat tummy. And when we do it that way, cross left, down, loop right around. That is how we jive when we make a 5. We put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then what our brain can do is touch and count to make sure that we see that this numeral, when it looks like this, holds this value of 5. Another way that we can show 5 is by using counters. Now this is called an array. So if I put it like that, this is an array. But I could also put those counters into a tens frame. And they could be the same color, or they could be different colors. And if I only used half of the frame, that would be called a fives frame. So I can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I could leave these over here, and I could put them like this. Like we would find them on a dice. Kind of looks almost like a mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could also just use objects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I could subitize by using, remember what these are called? This is a tens frame. This is a number bond. They're bonding together. When we have it with the two circles at the top, and they could be squares, it doesn't have to be circles. But when we have the two spaces at the top, we're putting the numbers, the smaller numbers together to make the bigger number. So if I had 5 like this, you could subitize. Now subitizing is we see some and some more. So how do we see 5 here? See 5? We see 5 total. And how we see 5 is there are 2 and how many more? 1, 2, 3 more. So 2 and 3 more, putting them together, composing, composition, composing numbers. 2 and 3 more is 5. And how do we see 5 if we break it apart? Say this is subtraction. We see 5. I think I'm going to make it black like I did over here. We see 5 as 2 and 3 more. So here we've used it like a dice. I'm just going to make the frame for a dice. Like if we rolled a dice, it would look like that. Here we just see some objects. And I needed magnetic objects. You could use teddy bears or something else, but it can't project down onto the floor, and I needed something that would stick to the board. So these are my objects. We've used dot math. We've used subitizing. We've used a tens frame. And how about up here? This is called a what? Do you remember? A number line. Here's 0, and each number holds a space on my line, and my line is unbroken from end to end. Goes to infinity and beyond in both directions. So I could count, I'm going to use a frame to block it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another way that I could show 5 would be with what's called tallies. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up and down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up and down. Now we're going to make one across. I'm going to put a dot at the top and a dot at the bottom, and then I'm going to connect them. Make one across, and then no more. Everybody jive, look alive. A set of tallies is made of 5. I could also write the number word, 5. 5. So I hear an F, there's a V. Now I need something to make the I long and strong in saying its name. The second sound of I, so an E is going at the end, and he's going to give all of his power over here, and he doesn't make any sound. 5. 5. Now I'm using my hand. So another way I could do it is to show my hand, my fingers. 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, 4 fingers, 5. That's how many fingers that I'm using to show. So fingers could also show 5. Can you think of any other ways? We could make a tower, like a block tower. So we could connect 1 block or box, 2 boxes or blocks, 3 boxes or blocks, 4 boxes or blocks, 5. We could also draw some pictures. So I could do 5 hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are lots of ways to make the number 5. So it's a ways to chart. What you can do is try it with other numbers. 3, 8, 10. If you make it higher than 10, you'll have to use another tens frame. You have to make your number line even longer. You could also get a hundreds chart, and you could find the 5 on the hundreds chart. You put it in a white mat, you could circle it or highlight it. And if you wanted to, you could work on the back of your white mat to think of other ways that you could also make it. If you had some dominoes, you could pull dominoes out of a game, and you could look at those. So you could do playing cards. So playing cards, if you have some cards at your house, or Uno, or Skippo. So you can repurpose game cards that you play with, dominoes that you play with, you could take those out. You could take out some like goldfish crackers or some cereal and try laying those down. You could also do equations. So if you took 5, you could say this many and this many more. And we could write an equation, a numeric equation. 3 plus 2 equals 5 altogether. Then you could just erase your box, try it again. Or you could pick up cards and make another equation. So let's say I picked up, I had some beans or cereal. We'll make it cereal because it's circular. And I picked up this many. So there were this many. You could say 5 pieces of cereal were on the table. Super teacher Dr. Robinson ate 4 of them. So take 4 of them away. How many are left? Only 1 is left. So you can also make up stories about the numbers that you're using. Your imagination is limitless. So you could make your own ways to chart and record it on paper. You could also get another composition book or a notebook and start recording ways to in that book. So you could start with 1, show all the ways you can think of making 1. Then you could go on to 2, all the ways that you can think of to make 2. Think of all the structures that you used in school, all the structures that you could remember. Ask the people in your house if they can remember any more, because sometimes bigger brothers and sisters and moms and dads have other ideas that your teachers didn't even think of. So it was awesome sharing this micro lesson with you. Our little brain bite, just a little nibble, our little schema snack, so our brains can get bigger and bigger and bigger. I hope you had a wonderful Good Friday, and I hope you have great plans. I think the Easter Bunny is going to be hopping by. I'm not sure he's going to leave eggs because, you know, the social distancing and being safe thing, but I think we're going to get to see him, maybe. Hope so. We've been tracking him. One of my students said he saw him on a tracker, so I hope he comes by. That would be super fun. You can look at him out the window. So until I see you again on another day, it was awesome sharing this with you. Goodbye, super smarties. Here's some pride. Put it inside, right in here. And some love. Save it for later. Till we meet again. Super teacher.